Welcome back to Off the Gridiron, your Apollo Houston Texans podcast. I'm Garrett. Noah's not here. Our normal set. This is a little different. I'm here with Dez, my fill-in Texans fan here.
Fan of the Shield.
Fan of the Shield.
Fan of the Shield.
I'll get it right. I'm not gonna act like you're a fan of this team. I'm not even really a fan of this team. How you doing, bud?
I'm good, brother.
Well,
Happy to be here. Happy to fill in.
Thank you for coming on. Yeah.
Yeah, Monday Night Football, home opener.
Didn't that? I mean, just on the surface, that might get you excited.
The 6 p.m. start was weird.
I hate it.
It was weird.
I hate it. Oh, you did go to the game.
I did go to the game.
You did go to the game.
I did go to the game. Vibes, like, from a fan of the Shield outside perspective, the vibes were pretty immaculate. The crowds there early on for tailgating, insane.
Yes.
I know a lot of Houston Twitter, sports, Texas fans kind of get a bad beat sometimes about showing up.
Dude,
it was filled. Like, the stadium was filled.
It filled up around the end of the second. It was filled, and I was at the game as well. I was there until the entire way through. The fourth quarter, it was packed. It was loud. It was rowdy. Don't let people tell you. I saw this tweet saying like, "Oh, Houston, you got to do better than this," and it was like 6 p.m. start, and like seats weren't filled. Dudes, if you even knew what it's like traveling around the city at 6 p.m. right after work, it's nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible. So I'll give credit to all the fans who showed up and tailgated and were loud until the end. There was about 6 seconds left, and everyone started trying to beat the traffic. But what are you gonna do? Place was rocking. It was a good atmosphere. Lots of boo birds. A lot of boo birds. I don't know if you heard those. A lot of boo birds, and I know why. I can tell you why. This is not a good football team right now. And really, this podcast is just going to be me ranting a lot and Fan of the Shield chiming in with his ball knowledge. If you try to pinpoint what exactly is wrong with the team, if you say this is wrong, that's wrong, I'm just going to look at you and give you a resounding yes. All of that. If you say it's QB play, yes. If you say it's coaching, yes. If you say it's skill set on offense, yes. If you say it's interior defensive line, yes. Roster construction, yes. There is just a collective effort of badness going on in Houston. A lot of not good signs right now for the coaches and GM Nick Caserio. Do you have a comment on the coaches?
Yeah.
The general coaching currently.
Just as a fan of football, it doesn't seem like players being put in positions to win, and that's 90% of football. Obviously, the other 10% is execution and the play that's dialed up, or the blitz or the coverage, whatever it is. It just seems like it's a half step behind everything, and it also feels like the coaches are almost scared to take the governor off or to put the players in a spot to win, or they rely on the defense to go win a ball game or whatever it is. So it feels like you're just putting your offense or defense, or special teams, whatever, in a spot to not succeed, and almost playing not to lose other than letting it rip and winning. And I think you kind of saw that week 1. You definitely saw that week 2 last night. But it started off good. The opening script was good.
The opening drive was great.
But that's preparation. After that's when live bullets are happening. Like, yeah, what are you going to do?
You got your script, and after that it's off script. It's Tropic Thunder. There's no more script. We're in the jungle now, and we're in the jungle, baby. Get on your knees. The opening drive was great. I thought we were fully back because that throwing catch from CJ to Nico was a dime. It was beautiful. It was exactly what I was expecting this offense to be. Ball placement specialist CJ Stroud, top 5 receiver Nico Collins, and I thought, okay, well they're bringing it offensively this game. And then after that, it was just problem after problem on offense, and it got worse with each quarter. it got worse with each quarter. There was zero adjustments, and I know that Nick Caley, new OC Nick Caley, it's only 2 games in, but it just feels like so far. And I this might be an overreaction. I don't care. It feels like we just got a carbon copy of Bobby Slowick and made it even worse with some of the receivers. I mean, why even draft Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel if you're going to play Justin Watson mostly? You know, why are you going to draft Woody Marks with a 4th and also trade a future 3rd to get up and to move up and get him and play Dari Ungabawale on 3rd down passing situations where he's required to block or run a route and catch the ball when he's clearly a special teams player? It's great. He kicks field goals when Kaimi's out. That's fantastic. He's a great special teams player. He does not need to be playing crucial 3rd downs and passing situations where he's required to block like an outside linebacker or a nickel corner or something. He got ran over. He got bottomed out in one play. And that's when I started hearing more and more boo birds. And immediately I saw Darian at third down, and I said, why is Darian? Immediately gets run over and allows a sack. It's just, if I'm looking at this offense from a homer fan perspective, and I see exactly what's wrong with it pre-snap, and then that's exactly what happens. What do you think the defensive coordinators on the defensive side of the ball are thinking? Oh my God, this is a cakewalk. This is a fucking cakewalk. This what are they doing? I'm just at a loss of words with some of the personnel sets that I'm seeing. And there was this one sequence. I'll get into it here in a second. But you look at, before I get to there, you look at talent across the league. Even your former Dallas Cowboys, you look at their talent outside of CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. They have good interior offensive linemen. They have tight end play. They got George Pickens. They got depth. I look at the Texans' offense, and there is zero talent outside of CJ and Nico right now. Zero playmakers, and if there were, they're refusing to play them because Jalen Noel seems like he's an electric player, and they refuse to play him. There's just the roster construction on the offensive side, especially offensive line, is horrible. It's downright horrible. Yeah, defense has got all the Pro Bowlers for days, but I'm looking at offense, and our best offensive lineman was Ariante Ursary last night, our 2nd-round pick. It's just it's inexcusable the way that Nick Caserio and the coaches have built this offense up. I'm sure you have just some general thoughts on our offense, and you probably everyone has a lot of thoughts on it.
It's kind of multifaceted in the sense because it feels like C.J. Stroud is still C.J. Stroud. He's still a really good quarterback, but he's clearly, I don't like throwing the word regressed around because it's not so much that, it's all the factors around him, right? Like, his number 1 receiver is Nico Collins, but who's behind that? Okay, so let's bracket Nico. Let's make the 9 targets that he's going to get the hardest 9 targets they have to execute on. You look at the offensive line where it's once again a conversation of just makeshift, and you're in week 2 and you're having these hard conversations about sacks and just basic protections, and then that speeds up your quarterback, and then you get him trying too hard. But also, I feel like you could have just looked across the field and be like, okay, that could be our floor. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense could be the floor, right? They have a big body number 1 receiver like Nico Collins and Mike Evans. Woody Marks is built just like Bucky Irving.
Yeah. They have a rookie receiver starting on the other side, like we maybe should. Jaden Higgins and Mekobuka.
You have Stroud who can get off his spot and make plays. Baker's dynamic in that where he can get off, make a hard throw, put his shoulder down, get the extra yards. He does it a little bit more than what CJ does. But if you just look at the box score, right, and obviously film will tell you a lot more, and you can be more in depth because I only spent the first half there at NRG before headed over to Dyken Park. But Woody Marks only had 4 touches yesterday, where Bucky Irving had he had 23 touches.
And
you're not even setting up your playmakers, and I granted a rookie and all that, and it's week 2 in the NFL, but when you got Woody Marks in space early in that first quarter, 37 yards on a little dump, like, why not go back to that? Why not, like you said earlier, why is he not your third down passing back? Why is he not in there? And so it's just like, as a football fan, you can see the potential of this offense, but you just know the reality of it. It's not happening, and it's got to be frustrating for you and the entire fan base.
It is, and I'm glad to hear this outside perspective because I feel like I'm losing my mind. I feel like I'm going crazy watching this team because I don't know what I was sold on. I don't know I forgot what I was sold on over the offseason. We ended up trading away. We ended up trading away Laramie Tunsil, which at the time I was coping. I was saying that was a good move. It had to happen because he's due for another massive extension, and he did lead the NFL in penalties last year. Okay, yeah, so after that point, culture reset for the offensive line. But we also had one of the worst interior offensive lines last year, and the only thing we did to really shore that up is sign Laken Tomlinson. That's the most significant move that we made for the interior offensive line. I don't know what I was sold on. I did have questions about the O-line, but it's honestly pretty sad. It's a bummer just seeing the O-line play just as bad as last year, if not worse, because there are some plays that aren't even plays, I feel like. There was when we scored our touchdown, the Nick Chubb run at the end, which there's conversations if he should have gone down. I don't understand that because we have our defense who is supposed to make the stops, and they didn't. That's a whole nother topic. But the 2-point conversion play that didn't even develop there was no tempo. There was no urgency. It was just 3 free rushers up through the line. CJ's got to dump it off. That's the end of the play. Dari was in as well. He had a block. He wasn't blocking. There's just these plays that are extremely crucial, and they've never developed. They've never developed from the start, and that all starts at the OC, Nick Caley again, which is going to become a huge issue. It's going to become a huge issue because if you play that conservatively, to where you think our defense and special teams will carry us, and offense just has to score enough, that's when you're going to get missed tackles, mistakes on the defense, crucial flags, crucial chunk plays that they give up. And the offense has got to work harder than they want to try to make up for it. It just goes all with roster construction and philosophy that this team is preaching and currently instilling right now. And that's the reason why we're 0-2 is because there's a lot of wrong decisions being made. From the start of the offseason, a lot of wrong decisions being made. It's mind-boggling almost. It's mind-boggling.
It also, like, in the game of just last night, I know there's bigger problems in the macro of it all, but it did seem like last night that throughout, from opening script to the fourth quarter, one team got better handling the defensive play calls and the blitz schemes that the other team was throwing at them. And that was Tampa Bay. It seemed like, and granted, there was times where they had Baker wrapped up and Baker did what Baker does and he wiggles out of it and finds a first down somewhere. He's hurt, and then all of a sudden he's barking at C.J. Gardner. Like, that's just what he does.
I love Baker. That sucks because I saw that and I wanted to kick his ass.
Yeah.
I wanted to kick his ass when I saw that.
But it just seems like when you look at from opening script to the fourth quarter, there was one team that just adjusted on the fly once, one, the script ran out, and two, how the game kind of unfolded. Because both teams blitz at a pretty high percentage. Both have pretty good athletes all over the field. Both pretty good at stopping the run. Like, so at the end of the day, it was just like, okay, one side is executing on one side of the ball and the other one's not. And it just felt like that's what's going to happen over the next few weeks because, hey, it's on tape. Every team is seeing this now. There is a blueprint.
There's a blueprint to beat the Houston Texans now. I mean, if Todd Bowles, and granted, just as a reminder, the Buccaneers were pretty beat up going into last night. Beat up O-line. Chris Godwin is still out. They got guys on the defensive side that are beat up. They're beat up. I know we are too, but they thoroughly outcoached us. If Todd Bowles is outcoaching D'Amico Ryans, it would be time to have a conversation about D'Amico Ryans needing to progress as a head coach. He came in here hot and heavy, instilled a new culture. We won 10 games. We won the division. We won a playoff game. That's great. But we did the exact same thing the next year, no progression, and it seems like we're just getting worse and worse. And if I get being outcoached by Sean McVay, that guy's a psycho, but home opener and you got Todd Bowles coming in here with a beat up Buccaneers team, outcoaching you and out-preparing you and bullying you even at the end of the game. They're bullying us with their run game. That is not good optics for the rest of the season. That's not good optics for the rest of the season, especially with a team with a first-place schedule such as ourselves. These are the games we got to win. I don't see how we would win against Baltimore. I don't see how we'd win against Kansas City on the road, Buffalo at home later in the year, teams like L.A. in Los Angeles, even teams like Seattle, San Fran, teams like that with pretty good coaching and talented players can now look at the film, look at the tape, and know how to beat the Houston Texans. They'll know how to get us. They'll know how to get us. That's gonna be a bummer. That's gonna be a bummer. I'm sitting here thinking it's hitting me. We're 0-2. Wow, 0-2, and it doesn't seem like we're getting any better. Granted, we do, and this is not a preview episode for Week 3. We'll do one with Noah back on Friday, talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars game. But hopefully, guys get better from this. I was saying before the game, before the Buccaneers game, we can really just all we can hope, not expect anything, but just hope the O-line somehow looks at the film and gets better. They got worse. It was at a certain point you just get sick of Nick Chubb running up the middle into a brick wall on second and 10, making a 3rd and 12 or something. And they were doing that late in the fourth quarter. And I'm going to get to the biggest sequence of the game, in my eyes at least, and this is the most telling sequence for the Houston Texans currently. Getting down to the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Getting down to the 1 yard line on the goal line, 2nd and goal. 3 straight plays where you go nowhere. You turn the ball over on downs, give the ball back to the Buccaneers on the 1 yard line. Absolutely inexcusable. Just absolutely inexcusable. Why are you running shotgun formation on 2nd and goal on the 1? Get under center. Push it up the middle. I don't care if you have some baby back bitch O-line. This is football. Quit trying to do that fancy bullshit and push the ball in. I saw a QB sneak last week with C.J. Stroud on 4th and 2, and we made it against the Rams. You have Nick Chubb, don't you? This supposedly bully of a running back, bulldog went to Georgia, running up the middle with him. I saw fullback sighting at NRG last night. I saw a fullback running around sometimes. I don't even know his name, but he was a fullback running around. Go up the middle, use him. There was just so many ways to go about moving the ball 1 yard and to not be able to move it at all 3 straight tries. That is Bill O'Brien era OC shit that I'm seeing. That is about as good as we were with like Brock Osweiler as our quarterback, and that's the same shit we would do. Absolutely maddening. The entire stadium was losing their minds. My section was losing their minds when this was happening because you could just see it coming from a mile away. One play goes down, okay. The other play goes down, it's 4th down. You just don't have confidence in it. Turnover on downs, and that was like almost the dagger. I know we took a lead late in the game after that, but that just showed how unprepared we were and how how erroneous. I mean, how many errors we make as a team. What did you think during that sequence?
Yeah, so at that point I was already out of the stadium, but I was watching on the phone, and then obviously I've watched the tape afterwards. But it's daunting because I'm seeing it on the college level. I see it with my college football team. Go ask any Texas Longhorn fan about first and goal at the 1. Because you can go to Ohio State, you can go to Washington in the back-to-back years of the playoffs and the semifinals. You can go see it now, even with Arch Manning, that the inability to score from the 1-yard line while your team cannot do it for some reason, but it seems like everyone else across the league can easily do it, frustrates you. And then last night, just as an observer and watching football, I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, you're in shotgun at the 1. That you don't have a lot of confidence.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
already.
make any sense. And your schemes of, okay, also, by the way, they have one of the best defensive tackles run stoppers in the history of football with Villa.
Yeah.
And you're going right at him. So it's just like almost like hitting your head against the wall, and you're just like, why am I doing this when you would think by week 2 there's not enough tape or not enough in your play call sheet that you've put out there where you can't convert one time at the 1-yard line. It just seemed like this is our way. We're going to do it, hell or high water, and we're going to live with it. And it's just frustrating because it's easy. It's lining up. And I don't know. It just seems like you found ways to lose last night than finding ways to win.
Absolutely. Actively seeking out the ways to lose, which is crazy. And that sequence was brought up. It was brought up in the presser post-game with Miko, Coach Ryans. And he almost kind of, I don't know, I have to watch the clip, but there were Texans reporters and people who cover the team saying Miko was throwing shade at CJ for not making those throws. He did make the throws, but why was he throwing? That's what I want to get to the bottom of. I want Nick Caley to get up there and describe his thought process as to why he's calling three shotgun plays from the 1 in a row with no success, with nothing behind it. It's like you said, it is like hitting your head against the wall. I feel insane. I feel like an insane person, and watching it play out in person was even worse because you got fans all around me asking, "What are they doing? What are we doing? Why are we doing that? What's going on?" It felt like, it just felt like the sky was falling around that time. Now, that was probably the most telling sequence of the entire game. Then we ended up getting bailed out by defense and special teams. Offense finally scored. Then defense gave it up at the end. I really feel like that wasn't, Henry To'oTo'o is getting a lot of flack for missing that tackle. I get that. But the Texans missed the 2-point. Had many opportunities to score previously before that. You're just asking the defense to go out and be the heroes again and again and again and again and again and again. And the Tampa Bay is good. Baker's clutch. He was making throws. I mean, he had that big scramble. I know Henry maybe should have got that tackle, but you're just asking a lot from this defense. Who, if you look at the time of possession, Jamie, can you pull up time of possession?
Yeah, got it.
At one point, I was like, I can't believe there's only a 4-point game because of the time of possession difference.
Yeah, 37 minutes for Tampa Bay, 22:51 for your Texans.
It's inexcusable to put this on defense for giving. I mean, they were gassed. They were probably gassed, and I'll stop being doom and gloom for a second.
72 total plays for Tampa, 46 for Houston.
Yeah, you're asking a lot from that defense. You're asking that defense to essentially win you games when you have a number 2 pick at the helm at quarterback. It's got to change. It's got to change. Offense needs to immediately get better. They need to start breaking it down. CJ needs to play better. Run game needs to show up. Offensive line, I don't even know. I have no idea what they're gonna have to do with offensive line. They are pitiful. They are terrible. So you're gonna have to figure something out, some kind of schemes to help them because the talent's not there currently. Now I don't want to get all doom and gloom for the whole time. I want to talk about some positive aspects about the game. Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. are fucking freaks. They're crazy. Just bringing pressures. I think Will Anderson Jr. had 10 pressures just by himself last night. 2 sacks. Daniil Hunter got to 100 career sacks. One of the more underrated, more underappreciated pass rushers in the National Football League. They're great. Derek Stingley, fantastic. Just some standouts on defense, as always. Just future Hall of Famers maybe going after it. Woody Marks, rookies being spark plug guys. Woody Marks, I know he only got 4 touches, but it seems like every time he was in, he was making some kind of difference. Whether it was cutting down on a free rusher and preventing a sack, or taking a ball in the flats and taking it 37, having a few good runs. We need to see more Woody Marks. Jalen Noel on special teams. Spark plug guy was electric. Had that big punt return that set up that touchdown for us to take the lead. Why aren't we playing him on offense more? Why aren't we having him run around in the backfield and having him set in motion and almost like a Tank Dell-esque role? We're just refusing to play him. He's a spark plug guy. You can plug him in, and he's given the ball, and he can take it 8-10 yards chunk plays. Those positive aspects for sure. And the special teams, Frank Ross is great. He was they showed him on the big board a few times after that blocked punt returns, great kick returns, and he was in there, man. He was slapping butts and slapping hands, and he was getting hyped. So our special teams, and along with Kaimi, they're great. They're great. They're probably 90% of teams in the National Football League would win from the amount of work that the special teams did. They would be able to do that. We weren't able to. We're the 10%. We're the 10%. That's definitely, and also, the throwing catch from CJ to Nico. If we only saw more of that, because it's there. It's there. We're just not seeing it because we're seeing some kind of regression, some confidence issues from CJ, I believe. It just looks like a confidence issue. Other than that, there's not really it's not a ton there's not a ton of glittery things with the Texans right now.
It's early though. That's the only shining part. It's early.
That's it. And I was thinking about it on the drive over here. 0-2, your chances of making the playoffs at 0-2 significantly low. I mean, significantly lower than 0-1. I think I don't know exactly the stat of how many teams make the playoffs after 0-2, but I've seen this team rally from 0-2 and go to the playoffs. 2015 started 0-2, won the division. It was a 9-7 year. Doesn't matter. Still started 0-2. 2018 did the same thing. Started 0-2. 2023 started 0-2, won the division. I've seen it happen before, and we got Jacksonville and Tennessee coming up, huge division games because Jacksonville's ahead of us, Tennessee is tied, but we can even it out, water evens out, and we can go 500 after 4 games, and we're right back in the thick of things very early on, but it's going to have to happen sooner than later because you can't go into the bye week, which is week 6, having 1 win. You can't do that because we got Baltimore week 5 looming, and that ain't good. You win 1 game, which is going to be maybe Tennessee at home, and you go into the bye week with 1 win, pretty much saying goodbye to your playoff chances and maybe a potential shakeup with some things with the roster, GM, how we evaluate talent. I don't know, but they Nick Caserio and company sold us a lemon over the offseason. We thought they were doing something with the offensive line. They didn't do anything. It was malpractice. That's pretty much all I have regarding this past game. It was a lot of rants, a lot of shaking my head moments. Not good football. Not good football. I said we would win. I predicted a win beforehand. I said it wasn't going to be pretty. Shit, it wasn't pretty, and it wasn't even a win either. It was just a nasty, turdy loss. It was just a turd-wrapped loss. Nasty. You don't want to pick that up. You don't want. You're just like, oh, I'll let that like dog shit on the floor. You're like, I'll let that dry before I pick that up, dude. Yeah. All right,
There it is.
Yeah,
There it is.
All right, there it is. You know what? To go along with that, which is more of on the positive side, if you need to go watch a football game, do you know where you should go?
Where's that?
You should go to Big City Wings. Houston's wing joint, Paulo's wing joint.
Love that.
Because even though if the Texans lose or if your favorite team loses, you can have a good time at Big City Wings. Great beer, great appetizers, great atmosphere. One of the best ball-watching environments in Houston. So go to Big City Wings, many locations across Houston. Tell them Apollo sent you. And also, you can have a little fun with this stuff right here. Zing Zang, Bloody Mary mix. We have the Michelada mix right here. Mix it with beers, mix it with anything. And we also have
We have the margarita mix and the other can as well.
Margarita mix and cans with already made Bloody Marys with bacon-infused flavors. So shout out Zing Zang, Zang responsibly. And again, shout out Big City Wings for powering this episode off the gridiron. Desi, thank you for filling in.
Absolutely.
The rest of the boys couldn't make it. Tune in for our preview for Week 3 this Friday. We might go live. It might be recorded. But tune in because maybe I'll predict another win. I think I might sell myself again.
Do it. Sell yourself.
I might get
That dub.
They already said that Christian Kirk and Braxton Berrios might be playing this weekend, so that might be enough for me to say Christian Kirk revenge game. He's gonna have 150 yards. You know, some are saying. I'm saying Christian Kirk is gonna have a revenge game. But yeah, tune in for our Friday episode to preview Week 3. Have a good week. Try to have a good week. Think positive thoughts. Good thoughts, Texans fans. And we'll see you later.
Peace.
Go Texans. Watch Texans.